Hey humans, Coach Nate here with another mindful focus to share with you. In today's post, it reads, worries and tensions are like birds. We cannot stop them from flying near us, but we can certainly stop them from making a nest in our minds. As with most wildlife and nature, there's little stopping it and even less controlling it. It's the natural process. The same holds true with our thoughts. They're going to occur. There's going to be many thoughts that we think. Some has argued that some words upwards of 6,000 a day, 350, 375, almost 400 an hour. Some of those thoughts are friendly, good thoughts, positive, perhaps memories. Some not so much, and at times it can feel like a barrage of thoughts that we're facing and working through and dealing with. All of this is natural. Some days it can be manageable. Others, overwhelming. It really depends on the situation and what we're dealing with, what sort of challenges, who we're interacting with. The trouble comes when we allow those thoughts to linger, to take up residence, to move in, to get comfortable, to dwell, to build a nest. That then becomes a process where it can those thoughts can infest our mind, building a dam, if you will, like a beaver, of blocking positive, productive, good thoughts, stifling our creativity, problem solving skills, and ability to work through, impacting our energy negatively, and creating a restriction in the flow, dampening our spirits, even eroding our hope. This downward spiral then can get to the point where it erodes our confidence, and then we start overthinking. We start creating scenarios in our mind, the likes of which Stephen King would be envious of, creating a narrative, more than often a false narrative, of something that is completely inaccurate, untrue, made up, generated in our mind, all stemming from a thought that we had, and then we find ourselves feeling paralyzed, all from a thought. Nothing happened. There was no action that occurred. There was no event that occurred after the process. There may have been one to start it. But here we are. We've worked ourselves up into this with a thought. So in terms of the let go, live now, win. The how do we let go, live now, and win? Again, as I mentioned, we cannot stop the thoughts from occurring, but we can be intentional about managing them. I'll say that once again. We cannot stop thoughts from occurring, but we can be intentional about managing them. So what does that mean? Well, what is that in more words? Managing thoughts can feel like, in some days, we're just tidying things up and putting things in their respective places and where they need to go, while other times it can feel like dodging asteroids in a minefield of asteroids that's coming at us, like we're in the Matrix. All that we can do to get through them. Knowing that when it feels like it's unbearable, when it is challenging, when it feels like it is overwhelming us, reminding ourselves that these thoughts are not truths. They are thoughts. Thoughts stem from what? Our imagination. We have created that in our mind from our perceptions. Those are our thoughts. That does not necessarily dictate, determine, decide that those are facts. separating those two, especially when we know that perceptions can be and often are wrong. Perceptions can be and often are wrong. We have these great imaginations. We've got this incredible supercomputer that sits on our shoulders, our minds, that enables us to problem solve and find ways to solve things, to work through. Great tool, great strength. There's a saying that says your greatest strength can also be your greatest weakness. In this case, that's true. Our minds can also be a greatest weakness if we are not in the driver's seat, allowing it to just go on and do what it wants to do, when and where and how, taking any thought. And let's just build something from. No. We weren't supposed to build anything from that thought. That one needs to go. We'll hold on to these because these are pieces of that we can work with, tools, wood, resources that we can make something out of. The rest goes. How is that done? There's this process called thought stopping and replacement. And what that is when a thought occurs, if it's a thought that we determine it does not serve us, this is just a thought. It comes from a perception or imagination. It's something that popped into my head that occurs that may not be true. You've got to go. I'm evicting this thought. That's the stopping. You've got to go. You're evicted. Your lease is up. You don't get to stay. Please leave the premises. I'm trespassing you. And then replacing that thought with something that's more productive. It can start with something as simple as gratitude. Find one thing to be thankful for. The good thing about gratefulness and thankfulness is they always bring their friends with them. So where you find one, you're going to find something else to be thankful for. If you're truly honest with yourself, you're going to find something else and then another and another. And all of a sudden now you've got this flood of positive thoughts. They help you to shift your focus and your mindset to out of the abyss of hell. That's what it can feel like. It can cause us to have anxiety and low mood and be upset and feel hopeless. At least out of that current, perhaps to the side of the riverbank to hold on to breathe, and even enable us to climb out of that and perhaps be able to lay down in the sun and bask and rest and have peace. That's where it can lead to. It's a process that we must practice over time, learn to be able to do it quickly when those thoughts occur, not allowing them to overstay their visit, build a nest, jettisoning them, build that into a habit, build it into our subconscious, and then when, not if, adversity strikes, challenges occur, when it occurs again, we're in autopilot mode on how to get the right thoughts where they need to be and the wrong thoughts away from us that don't serve us, that hinder our growth. Just sharing some insights with you. Feel free to feel free to try them or toss them. Both of those can be correct answers. Which one is something only you can determine for yourself? If this resonates with you, please feel free to give a like and subscribe, and then click that notification bell so you know when I post additional content like this. And feel free to share this with someone that you believe may benefit from it in order to help them in their life's journey. But most importantly, always remember to let go, live now, and